Do ghosts like limes? It's not an unreasonable question. After all, we know that they like to make regular old humans cry, so maybe they have a thing for citrus. Well, this is the story of one family who may have just found out. It's me, and this is the weirdest haunting I think I've ever heard of. Our story begins in Egypt in 2017. That's when a man named Mohammed Hassanin noticed that something very strange was going on with his limes. No, they hadn't gone bad. They weren't sitting out in the sun, and they were definitely not being used to make guacamole by an avocado thief. Instead, they had vanished from inside his pantry. His pantry was a small, narrow space off of the kitchen with only one door. The family kept the door open during the day so that they could easily get their snacks, but they always made sure to close it at night. But one morning they found that a bag of 20 or so limes that they'd put away the night before was gone. Now, they didn't freak out about this right away. It's not like limes are worth freaking out over, though they do add a lot of flavor to your coconuts. But they thought it was a bit weird, so they shut the door at night from then on. But then the next night, the same thing happened again. The limes were gone. But it wasn't just the limes. On the counter beside the pantry, there was also a bowl full of lemons and oranges that had been sitting there overnight. The oranges and lemons were also gone. This time, though, they weren't the only things that were missing. Garlic, onions, and green peppers were gone too, and it seemed as though someone had rummaged through the fridge, pulling out ingredients for a big cooking project, and then abandoning it halfway through. Mohammed installed CCTV cameras in the room to catch whatever was going on, but for days and days, nothing happened. Then one night, while Mohammed was watching the live feed on his phone, he saw a blurry figure appear in the pantry. The figure walked over to the shelf where the fruit had been kept, grabbed a lime, and then walked back out. The rest of the footage was grainy and dark, so it was hard to tell what the person looked like, or even if it really was a person. It could have been a cat, except cats can't open doors. Or maybe it was some kind of weird wind current that was whipping around the house and opening the door on its own. Like, how many times does the wind do that in your life, right? Maybe it was trying to give your AC unit a high five, but then another strange thing started happening. Every night at around 4 a.m., the scent of citrus would fill the house, meaning that the ghost, if that's what was doing this, wasn't keeping the fruit. Whatever was in that pantry, it really liked limes. At first, Mohammed thought maybe he was going crazy. Citrus dreams, anyone? But then his daughter started having vivid dreams about an old woman who lived in a house with a garden full of limes. She said that the woman was sad and lonely, and she wanted to take something with her when she died. So she chose limes because they were her favorite. Then she explained that she was now stuck with them in the afterlife, and that she wanted to share her love of limes with the living. After hearing this, Mohammed realized that his daughter's dreams were matching up with the nightly citrus smell and the missing limes. But it still didn't explain why. Why were the limes missing, and was there anything he could do about it? His daughter told him that according to what the woman in her dreams had said, the only way to appease a ghost is to give them what they want. So maybe what he needed to do was find somewhere else for his limes. But then he noticed that other fruits and vegetables were starting to go missing too. The ghost clearly had a taste for produce, so Mohammed couldn't just move the limes to another shelf. He'd have to move everything, and so that's what he did. He moved the produce to a different room. But one night, the ghost struck again, this time grabbing an apple from a vase and sauntering out of the pantry as if it owned the place. Mohammed had had enough. He called the police and told them about the ghostly lime thief. But they, of course, didn't believe him and basically just told him to deal with it himself. So he went back to the video footage to try to figure out what he should do. This time, he noticed something he hadn't seen before. In addition to the blurry image of the ghost itself, there was a second shadow behind it, making it look like it was being pushed along by some unseen force. Mohammed was confused until he remembered that his daughter had mentioned the woman choosing the limes because she liked them. Then it hit him. This ghost wasn't haunting him for any malevolent reason. It was hungry. It was actually trying to get more limes. So then Mohammed came up with a plan. Every night he would leave a bag of limes out for the ghost, and in the morning he would switch it out with a new bag. Since ghosts aren't known for their greed, hopefully this would satisfy whatever citrus craving it had, and it would leave the rest of his groceries alone. But then one night, Mohammed left a bag of limes out, and in the morning he woke up to find that it was half empty. Was the ghost sharing the fruit with other spirits? Did it have friends in the afterlife that liked limes as much as it did? Mohammed didn't know. But he kept the plan in place anyway, hoping that it would stop the ghost from coming into the kitchen and making off with his groceries. But one night, the ghost came back with an even bigger appetite. Mohammed watched in horror on his phone as the ghost grabbed a whole watermelon and lumbered out of the pantry. What was that ghost going to do with a whole watermelon? Eat it all in one bite? Mohammed started screaming bloody murder, and I don't blame him. That would be pretty scary to see. But then the ghost stopped. It turned around and dropped the watermelon. Then it floated back into the pantry and disappeared. Was the ghost mad at him? Had it had enough of his shenanigans? Would it start haunting him properly? Mohammed didn't know, but then something very strange happened. In the weeks following the great watermelon incident, Mohammed never saw the ghost again, nor did anything else disappear. But every night at 4 a.m., he would still smell the citrus. Now here's what I need you to do. Pause this video and tell me in the comments what you think is going on here. Is this a real ghost? If so, what do you think it wants with the limes? Let me know down below. As for what happened next, well, sometimes the supernatural doesn't stick around long enough for an explanation. It just kinda does its thing and then moves on. That seems to be what happened here, though I wish we knew what happened to the limes. Did the ghost take them to the afterlife with it? Are they just floating around in the ether? Does the ghost's friend Ethel get to enjoy them? Who even is Ethel? We may never know, but sometimes the afterlife just has weird cravings, I guess. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out this playlist for more stories of the weirdest hauntings ever. See you next time.